Hey, you all. Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the West. More specifically, we're in Long Beach, Washington. And I got all my luggage put into the car, got all packed up, and ready to head out because today is day number 20. Day number 20 of our Pacific Coast Highway road trip. It was 20 days ago that we were in San Diego, California. We have been heading up alongside the Pacific Ocean that entire time. We are today going to be heading up through the state of Washington, riding along Highway 101, which is part of the Pacific Coast Highway, taking us up the Pacific coast of this great United States of ours. So I want to thank you guys, those of you that have stuck with me this long, and we'll see how much longer it takes to complete this magnificent highway. Please follow me. I stayed at another independently owned hotel. This is the Mermaid Inn. A lot of the hotels here in Long Beach were pretty expensive. This was reasonable. This, I think, was about $100 a night, which is, fairly low, but it's kind of at least kind of the range I try to aim for. But it was super nice, super clean, very comfortable. Look at that! You got two chairs next to the table, and a place to edit. Got these retro refrigerator and microwave, and they have some cool maps here on the wall. This is the Lewis and Clark journey, and I think there's this is the graveyard of the Pacific. All those showing all the different ships that have wrecked out this way. We'll drop our key here off at the front desk. But before we leave Long Beach, we are going to invoke the EM rule. There is a Cranberry museum here in Long Beach. Apparently, the Long Beach Peninsula is also known as the Cranberry Peninsula. You can see where the Cranberry Museum is on this shirt map. All right, guys, first we're heading into the Cranberry Laboratory. Talks all about cranberry farming here along the wall. And then we got the cranberry farming equipment. I don't think I've ever been to a cranberry farm. This machine here sorts the cranberries. These are special cranberry bog boots. They have like little lifts on them so you can walk through the cranberry bog without destroying the cranberries. You can see all these cranberry boxes. Cranberries to be shipped in. Ocean spray cranberries. Cran apple, that's always good. I kind of like cran grape. And this here is a cranberry color meter. It's a device to determine if the cranberries are red enough. And as we exit the gift shop, we have all these cranberry products. Well, this is cranberry preserve, cran huckleberry preserve. Some good old-fashioned jellied cranberry sauce like you'd have on Thanksgiving. It's also home of the Pacific Coast Cranberry Research Foundation. And we can take a walk here through the cranberry bogs. The walking tour here. It's the evergreen huckleberry hedge. Huckleberry hedge. All right, let's take a look at these cranberries. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, they kind of grow them in like a swampy marsh And yeah, you can see the little berries. These ones don't look like they're red all the way. They got a little bit of yellow on them. I don't think they would pass the color test on that machine. So these are research berries. They are trying to manage cranberry tipworm. Apparently some sort of bug that damages cranberries. It says here they put out polls for hawks and owls because they want to encourage hawks and owls to come here because they can remove rodents from the bog. I guess the rodents will eat up all the little cranberries, but the hawks and owls will eat up those creatures. Now, walking amongst the cranberry fields, it reminds me of my sister. Now, my sister, she likes to give people nicknames. Everyone in the family has their own nickname. And I had the unfortunate incident occurred where I earned my current nickname. Sometimes the nicknames change over years. She always keeps a nickname for someone and it evolves over time into something else. But anyways, I was staying at my mom's and I drank a few bottles of cranberry juice. I think 2 or 3 at the most. My sister claims it was like 6 or 7. And she came into my bedroom and there was the empty cranberry juice containers and the little ones, like the little handheld cranberry juice containers. And she's like, "What's going on? How much cranberry juice do you need?" And she started calling me to her children. Now to this day, her children call me Uncle Cran Cran. I don't think I deserve this nickname. I'm not some sort of cranberry obsessed maniac. Yeah, cranberries. Everywhere you look. Look at this comic foreground. You got the cranberry farmers. You've got a little bear and a frog. Uncle Cran Cran reporting for duty. And I did want to try their homemade cranberry ice cream. Comes with a little wooden spoon. Ingredients: milk, sugar, cream, cranberry puree, orange, and lemon juice. That sounds delicious. Look at that. See, it's even got little chunks, little bits of cranberry in it. These little wooden spoons always remind me of elementary school. Whenever you had ice cream day, I think they would actually have the spoon would be like stuck on the lid, so you take the spoon off. But let's give this a try. Ooh, that's delicious. Tastes more like a sherbet. Like when I was a kid, I always got rainbow sherbet at Baskin Robbins. It was my favorite. That's what this reminds me of. It's really like refreshing. And of course, we gotta wash it down with some cranberry juice. This is 27% juice. That's a lot of juice. Most juice doesn't have any juice in it. Yeah, I love cranberry juice. I'm not some maniac that's obsessed with it. Enough to like deserve renaming me after cranberries. But yeah, I really love cranberries. And this was like about the size of the bottles my sister found. So just, over the course of a couple days, had a few cranberry juices. There wasn't a lot of other things to drink in the house. And I don't know why she made such a big deal out of it. You can look out on this river here at low tide. You can see all the mud spurting out. It'll be high tide comes, it'll all be coming back up, covering that mud. Stopped off here in South Bend, Washington. We were greeted by this giant rudder here. There are carved statues of a fisherman here. It says dedicated to the fishermen of Willapa Harbor. And over here it says dedicated to the ladies of the oyster industry. This is dedicated to Robert E. Bush, who was given the Presidential Medal of Honor. He was a hospital apprentice first class. You can see him here wielding both his gun and some medical device, helping this other wounded soldier. Yeah, I would definitely say Washington has its own unique feel. And I mentioned this when we went into Oregon from California. Even though the state lines are just written by men, there's something about it. California has its own feel. California has a couple feels. And Oregon had its own feel. And I feel like out here in Washington, things are unique as well. Looks like there's a seafood processing business there. Looks like these boats here are absolutely loaded with oysters. And here in South Bend, Washington, we have the world's largest oyster. Yeah, look at that giant oyster shell. Seeing the world's largest oyster made me feel that South Bend here knows a little thing or two about oysters. So let's pop in to the oyster bar. I got myself a plate of fried oysters here. They did not have raw oysters on the menu. I'm assuming that's because oysters are not in season right now, but these look like some pretty yummy, big, meaty fried oysters. All right, it's probably gonna be a little hot because they just came out of the fryer. Well, even though that is fried, that is so delicious. You can taste the saltiness of the sea. Okay. These are about perfect. These are kind of fried oysters I like. Yeah, you can see just big meaty oyster that's not like overly breaded or anything like that. You can taste the sea. That's my favorite thing about oysters, is they taste like the sea. And those were so good. Again, some of the best fried oysters I've ever had. Then right across the street here from Chester's Oyster Bar, we have the Pacific County Museum. So I guess we will be invoking the EM rule. We start here with oyster plates. Little plates meant for serving oysters, because he actually has the oysters embedded in the plate. Yeah, these are cool. I want to eat oysters off of one of these. Yes, the two primary industries here are fishing and logging, especially the shellfish here. You can see the oyster shells. These are crab pots for catching crab. And you see the floats there that keep the fish net floating. And look at the size of these oysters here. I guess we saw the world's largest oyster outside. That's still a pretty big oyster. It says that's a 7-year-old oyster. And there we see some oysters there in the pan. That's like, it's like fake food. They have the actual meat in there. Different stone tools. Oh, there's more about cranberry farming. I used to say every good southern museum had a moonshine still, but as I travel this great nation, it seems like most good museums across the entire country have a moonshine still. Some of the logging equipment here. Look at this saw.
Kind of young looking, isn't he?
A little bit.
Yeah, I just...
We have stopped in Raymond, Washington, and apparently here in Raymond they have the whole town full of these cutout figures. You can see two guys there carrying a canoe. What's this guy over here doing? Oh, okay, I think that's a bird watcher. Pointing at a bird. This metal bird photographer here taking pictures of all these metal birds. Sees the metal deer. And this is great because, deer, they can be finicky. You never know when a deer is going to show up. Here, you're guaranteed to be able to see a deer. This extreme biker taking a big swig of water. Metal horses pulling a wagon. And this elaborate metal lady here is holding a big bundle of squash. And we've got some more museums. This is the Willapa Seaport Museum. Let's head inside. Oh, wow. Look at this. So I was talking with the docent when I first came in. He had some excellent information and explained a lot about what's been going on today. So we saw the Muddy River, and that's low tide now. So it's, when we went by it was low tide. So apparently on those mud beds is where they farm oysters. And apparently this part of the country is where 40% of the world's oysters come from, but they're generally not used as raw oysters, which may explain why they had the fried oysters at the oyster bar instead of the raw oysters, because these oysters are generally used for come in cans and things like that. They said that the oysters they have here, that a lot of people don't like the flavor of them when they're raw. So this is more of a fried canned oyster type area. And just walking around the overwhelmingness of the Seaport Museum, this is really cool. See the ship's head up there. Oh, look at this. This big towering piece of wood here. It's all covered in oyster shells. Said that the oysters actually created like a natural reef here in the Willapa Bay. And the Willapa Bay is basically Long Beach, where we just were. That's the peninsula that connects the ocean. The Willapa Bay is the inland bay here that we are driving alongside. And said it's all full of oysters. Main industry is the oyster industry here. And then again, the graveyard of the Pacific, all the different shipwrecks around this area. There's a mermaid's purse. That's a shark egg sac or a ray egg sac. That's a big one. I found a few small ones on the Atlantic coast. This over here talks about the slave trade. Behind these bars, all these shackles. You know, that image where slaves were brought over, packed like sardines. These items here are from West Africa. It's very bright and colorful, beaded items. Yeah, just the items of the sea, the rope, the nets, this boat on the wall, this canoe, and look who's piloting it, this oversized, terrifying Cabbage Patch doll. And it says that this is the Jolly Boat from the tall ship Christine. Oh, and there's the Christine. And there is one of the Christine's lifesavers. This is a pilot's house with the wheel looking out into the museum. All the luggage here, things can be placed on a ship. You got apples, strawberries, chickens. There's a ticket window. The docent was telling me that they had a ferry boat that would travel around the bay here and over to the peninsula. It's like the china that they would use on a ship. Oh, there's like a personal trunk that would be taken with somebody as they traveled. Got their sewing kit, got their accordion, their cigars and pipes, and photos of all their loved ones. Yeah, this case has all these different little personal items that will be carried by sailors. Looks like these are little carved trinkets where they carve the balls on the inside. It's all carved from one piece of wood. You do a little scrimshaw while you're on the ship. There's some hardtack. Oh, is this the radio room? Gotta keep the radio room nice and red. A bust of Teddy Roosevelt, who got famous by participating in the Spanish-American War. You can see the battleships of the time. Look at all the cigars. Look over here. I guess this is like the sleeping quarters for the sailors. Guess their dresser over there, they keep their clothing. Yeah, kind of the naval history here. Rescue equipment in here, all these ropes. Looks like that's a ladder that you can unfurl. And these things are interesting. It's like a big diaper with a lifesaver around it. Or I guess you can put it on and they can raise you up out of the water. Some lighthouse equipment. Oh, and here's like a portable pharmacy. That's cherry cough syrup there. Different medications. Yeah, out here in the Pacific Northwest, it's all about ships and logging. See the saw collection. Oh yeah, look at these saws here. Look just how dirty your jacket and hat get when you're cutting down trees. This pole here. Look at all the chainsaws stuck in that log. Oh, and here's the knot tying display. Just an exhibit on Native American oyster harvests. Some whale vertebrae. Unknown if any of these whales were exploded. The shipwreck salvaging here. They go down into the shipwreck and find treasures. And as we leave the Willapa Seaport Museum, just right next door, there is another museum. So keeping with the EM rule, we will head into the Northwest Carriage Museum. Okay, and here we are. Have the this is a sleigh from such songs as Jingle Bells. And look at this carriage here. Got the horses pulling. Got the coachman up there. Lovely lady in the back. Oh, then who's this? Oh, howdy. That's Sam. And this Victorian carriage here was used in the film Little Princess, starring Shirley Temple. I've not seen the movie, so I don't know if Shirley Temple herself has rode in this carriage, but maybe. Has anyone seen that movie? Leave a comment in the comment section. It's a pretty beautiful museum the way it's laid out, and yeah, look at this carriage here. It was actually used in, believe it or not, used in Gone with the Wind. Oh yeah, there's Clark Gable sitting in this carriage. That's pretty wild. Now, I have to admit I've never seen Gone with the Wind, but yeah, it shows there's a picture there. It's used as Belle Watling's carriage. And this is called a hansom cab. And it is mighty handsome. Now this is a very ornate horse-drawn hearse. It says this is from Austria. A lot of these carriages we just saw were very fancy, but this is a work carriage here. This is called a coal box buggy. These are leisure carriages to go on nice leisurely carriage rides. It says these are economical carriages, so I guess affordable carriages for the common man. This carriage used in a film called The Ghost and Mrs. Mear. And a produce wagon where you go to buy your corn and lettuce, maybe even a potato or an apple. This is the governess cart. Kind of reminds me almost of like the chariots from Spartacus. It says Willie Paw. I guess this is Willie. Willie's angry. He's got a bell around his neck. I guess so you know that he's coming. This is the infamous Fringe Top Surrey. They sung about it in the musical Oklahoma, and they sang the song in Harry Met Sally as well. Yeah, these are more simple horse carts here. I think this is the chuck wagon, where they open it up for all the cowboys to get their dinner. That's an 1890s Springfield chuck wagon. You get enough to eat there, buddy?
Well, howdy, folks. Thanks for taking a little looky here at my old chuck wagon. My name's Flapjack John Jacobson. You can just call me Cookie.
This is Flapjack John Jameson.
1890 Springfield wagon made back in Springfield, Missouri. Back in the day, there were a lot of wagon makers in our country. Weber, Mitchell, Bain, Peter Shuttler, and even Studebaker, but they all just made wagons. We added the chuck box, that wooden box at the back with the fold-down table. Now, the chuck wagon was invented back in 1866 by maybe some flapjacks with some sound helpers. I think y'all call that bacon now. And in the evening, well, that's where I cooked up the beans, which the boys used to call whisper by the museum. Thanks again for visiting. Y'all come back and see us again really soon.
This is a standard oil kerosene cart that would deliver kerosene to people in Wisconsin. I do like this old school stagecoach. There's another hearse. This one here actually has a casket inside. This was actually used in a movie called Gentleman Jim with Errol Flynn. Errol Flynn, not a gentleman in real life. Here's the wagon shop. You're gonna someone putting together a wagon wheel. You have a diagram here showing the different parts of the carriage. So that number 7 is the driving seat. Number 8 is the dash, I guess the dashboard. And let's see, 14 is the hub of the different parts of the wheel there. Number 6 there is the roof of the carriage.
I'm good.
Oh, that's just the.
I got it.
And we have a pressed penny machine that disperses different types of carriages. The Studebaker buggy, the stagecoach, the Selburn Landau, and the hearse. I think we're definitely going to get all 4. And that is quarter, quarter, quarter penny. And some fine pressed carriages for the collection. We've stopped off here at Aberdeen, Washington. Here is Grays Harbor College, and they have this massive mascot here named Charlie Choker, and he's got that big rope there. Hopefully, he's not going to choke someone with it. Here we see a mermaid made out of recycled pieces of metal. Pieces of scrap metal all welded together, and it is right out front the International Mermaid Museum. Now I'm fascinated by mythological creatures, by cryptids and the like, so let's check out the International Mermaid Museum. It looks like it's only $3 a person. Okay, and heading in to the Mermaid Museum here. Got a mermaid and some pink hair there sitting in a chair. Oh, and look at this. Look at this mermaid over here.
Aquamarine here, and I travel the oceans to bring you wisdom from the throne of Poseidon.
So this is Porcelina here, and she has an interesting story. She actually, a barge on the Mississippi River crashed in to the art studio, and she actually fell into the water, which is ironic because she is a mermaid. She said that she was rescued by Mardi Gras World, who put her on display there. We've been to Mardi Gras World a few times, and now she finds herself here in Washington. Oh, look at this. This is Aquamarine. She is a cousin of Zoltar. Looks like a Characters Unlimited. And I guess she will tell her fortune. She looks like she has cash or credit.
Pay attention now. Aquamarine has a word of knowledge for you this day. He who laughs last thinks slowest. Stay alert, my friend. Laugh heartily and quickly. Like a scallop, you can propel
Like a
yourself
scallop?
to great new places with gusto. At night, rest like mermaids who sleep in oceans deep. Inside their coral caves, lay your head on a seaweed bed, rocked softly by the waves to make all your dreams come true. Your dreams are the key to your future. Your imagination knows no limits. Your special creativity brightens the lives of others and offers you great reward and a lifetime of pure joy.
Oh, there we go. Aquamarine speaks. She's got her own custom card. You can hear Aquamarine, her voice echoing through the whole museum. This talks about Urzuli, which is a voodoo spirit that is a mermaid. You can see the Urzuli tail there. Look at that. Got a crocodile up there with a clock in his mouth, much like in Peter Pan. Oh, look at that. They got these harpoon guns. Mermaids got to watch out for harpoon guns. See the massive marlin here. And then this is Kanaka. She is a Hawaiian mermaid that is believed when foam is near the shoreline that a mermaid is present. You can see her tail. And it says, is this a mermaid or a swordfish tail? Spin to see the difference. So it's a big old tail. Give it a little spin there. So yeah, talking here about how different animals may be mistaken for mermaids, like the tail of the marlin. Also, they say a sunfish with its odd shape could give the impression of a mermaid. We've got our mermaid pressed penny machine here. Got the mermaid tail there, and these all have mermaid on it from different angles. But yeah, let's get all four of these. And 4 shiny pressed mermaid pennies for the collection. And here we have some sea glass. We were at the Sea Glass Museum in Fort Bragg, California, a while back. It shows all these different, you can see there the kind of glass that the bottles are made out of, and then the kind of sea glass that they produce. Okay, and here's how the sea glass ties into the mermaid mythology. It says that Neptune, who was the Greek god of the sea, became very jealous when he realized that mermaids were falling in love with sailors. So because he was so jealous, he banished them to the depths of the sea. And they were so sad because they couldn't see their sailors anymore that they wept pieces of glass called mermaid tears. And that is what the sea glass is that you find on the beach. Now this room here is shaped like a giant shipwreck, and this is a bowsprit here, which they call Neptune's angels, different mermaids on the front of boats. You see this museum here put on by the Westport Winery. And we have a octopus drinking a beer there. Oh, that's amore. You have some more mermaid mythology here. Talks about Mami Wata, which is the mother of the water in certain religions in Africa and the Caribbean. That's pretty interesting. Talks here about how all these different cultures have mermaids in their mythology. Parnethopope as a siren in Greek mythology. We have Rusalki, the Russian mermaid, and Savannah Macha, the Hindu mermaid. And this is a mermaid that was part of a carousel, probably a chariot. It says this is 300 years old and was shipped from France during Napoleon's invasion of Egypt. They have a mockumentary about the Mermaid Museum that plays here in this little theater area. Nibinabi is a Native American mermaid. This talks about Una the Mermaid, who is a mermaid performer, who is a person that dresses as a mermaid and performs underwater acts in a aquarium. So Una was the first to do it in the Northwest. I think about that, like the Weeki Wachee mermaids are probably one of the first in Florida. And here it looks like this is Una's swim tail there. that she would wear while performing. And this is Triton, who was featured as Ariel's father in The Little Mermaid. This one kind of reminds me of Aquaman. Oh, this is a Triton shovel. One end has the trident on it. One end has the shovel. This was used here in the groundbreaking of this museum. There's a Pacific fisherman here. Of course, a lot of Pacific fishermen fell in love with mermaids over the years. Talks here about the movie Splash, Madison the Mermaid from Splash, where Tom Hanks was with a woman that turned into a mermaid every time she got wet. Oh, who's this pirate here? I think pirates don't like mermaids. This talks about Kelpie here, or Scottish water spirits that look like horses that drag people to their doom. It says the most famous Kelpie lives in Loch Ness. Is Nessie a Kelpie? I've never heard that connection before. Yeah, we are currently inside the shipwreck here. Oh, look at this. These are mermaids' purses. Again, these are like sacks that different types of sharks and rays are born in. So you'll sometimes find these like when you're looking for shells out on the beach. I found two. But mine are like little like that one. It's my proudest seashell find of all time. This is Melusine. It talks about the story of Melusine, that she married the King of Scotland, and her only rule was that he could never see her bathe. And when he saw her bathe, she turned into a mermaid. And then she married again, same rule, don't watch me bathe. And her new husband saw her, and her arms became wings. And it says here that actually this story of Melusine is what was the inspiration for the Starbucks logo. It says Nyada, a Russian form of a naiad or water nymph. Some more movie mermaids here. The mermaids of Tiburon. Oh yeah, look at that shark with his dead eyes there. Black, much similar to the way a doll's eyes are also black. Well, these are all shark's teeth here. It's a lot of teeth. Talks about the Philippine merman. Not a mermaid. Merman. The Siokoi here are apparently, unlike female mermaids, are very vicious. And it's a vicious creature that drags humans to their doom. This is a sash here from the Miss Mermaid Washington. The medal there from the Seattle Mermaid School. This talks about Roland Omar Humans, who was a salvage diver during World War II. Said he would actually work salvaging the ships that were sunk in Pearl Harbor. Now look at these films here. Underwater Warriors, Raiders from Beneath the Sea, Return to Paradise, starring Gary Cooper. Now look at this snorkel dude here, and a scuba lady. Aphrodite here. It was born from sea foam and shown in a scallop shell. Says that she is the Greek goddess of seafaring. Talks a little bit more about mermaid performers here. Says they kind of develop their own characteristics, their hair, their accoutrements, their tail, and their identities when they are performing as mermaids is called their mersonas. They're mersonas. This is Mermaid Nori here, and what makes this sculpture very interesting, it was actually created by 4 blind artists. So this is interesting here. It talks about this documentary here, which I definitely remember, the Animal Planet documentary, Mermaids, The Body Found, where it was kind of a mockumentary showing how mermaids are real. A lot of people thought that it actually was real, though, that it actually had found mermaids. And it says the nearby naval station in Pacific Beach near here was actually used as a backdrop for the story. And I was waiting and seeing if they had one of these. The Fiji Mermaid. The fake mermaid made out of a top of a monkey, the bottom of a fish, was shown in many sideshows and carnivals over the years, most famously by P.T. Barnum. And this is Laura Lee, a sea spirit who was abandoned by her lover, and now, to get revenge, sits on a rock singing to sailors, causing them to run aground. Oh, look at this little seal there, little taxidermied seal. And probably the most famous mermaid of them all, Ariel, the Little Mermaid from the Disney movie. Let's get one more fortune from Aquamarine. What do you got for us?
Aquamarine the mermaid here. When I broke the surface of the water today, I could tell that the winds of change were blowing.
Oh, the winds of
your
change?
way.
My way?
But don't go around the world saying it owes you something. It owes you nothing.
No, the world owes me
It was
nothing.
here
I
first.
agree.
So don't take life too seriously.
I won't.
You will never get out of it alive. Rainbows and
true.
mermaids are proof that imagination and beauty go hand in hand. Search for the pot of gold under every rainbow and swim joyfully through life like a mermaid in the sea. Your future is filled with hidden treasures, since your curiosity allows you to look at things others miss. While you may feel out of step, you will find that you are actually creating a dance that others will admire. All great leaders have this gift, and you have it in abundance.
Well, thank you, Aquamarine. That must have been the last one that didn't tear. And now it is time to exit through the gift shop. Oh, which is also a bar. Oh, guess Sasquatch was feeling left out here at the Mermaid Museum. A lot of different mermaid dolls here in the gift shop. You can also buy your own mermaid tail. Yeah, they sell a bunch of different mermaid-themed wine, as well as some mermaid-themed vodka. You have different mermaid performers here in their mersonas. Oh, that's a merman. As we exit over here, you can see one more mermaid here in the garden. Now, possibly the most famous resident of Aberdeen, Washington is one Kurt Cobain, the singer for the grunge group Nirvana. And here in his hometown, they have a little area here known as Kurt Cobain Landing that plays homage to Kurt Cobain. They have this concrete guitar. People have signed, left stickers. It says, "Thank you, Kurt. Thank you, Kurt. Thanks for the music." Different people leaving their thoughts. It says, "I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I'm not." Quote by Cobain himself. Yeah, you see the trash can here. Casey Park. Kurt Cobain Park. Okay, this is interesting. This is Kurt's air guitar. So the fake guitar that Kurt would play is now resting here on this guitar stand. See, the official signage there has almost completely been covered in stickers. Now, this is not his gravestone here, but it has a bunch of different quotes. It says, "My name is Kurt, and I sing and play the guitar and I'm a walking, talking bacterial infection. Looks like you walk down here under the bridge. Stopped off here in Olympic National Forest, and I think we're going to go see the world's largest Sitka spruce. Yes, folks, we're not finished with tree tourism. Seen a lot of impressive trees on this trip. You have the mighty redwoods of California. You have the Douglas firs of Oregon. Apparently here in Washington, we got the Sitka spruces. And we're going to go see the biggest one that's alive. Oh, that must be that must be it, the big one. Of course, when you have a big tree, and that is a big tree, you got to have your stats. It is it's 191 feet tall. It's a 58 feet circumference. It's about 1,000 years old. Okay, this is a really big tree, so I'm gonna run over there and show you guys how small I am compared to the tree. You see how big the tree was? Yeah, you can see this mythical root system here. Almost reminds me of the Tree of Life at Animal Kingdom. And this is Lake Quinlet here. Beautiful, beautiful. And amongst the trees of Olympic National Forest, would like to say good night to everyone out there. We will be picking back up tomorrow with Pacific Coast Highway road trip. Another fun day today. We had some cranberry ice cream, some cranberry juice. We had some really good fried oysters at a bar, and we found the wonderful International Mermaid Museum. I had no knowledge of that place until the last couple of days when I saw it on the map. Didn't know what to expect, and it was a great roadside attraction. I was excited to just kind of stumble upon good stuff like that. But thank you guys for watching. If you do like these videos, consider subscribing. If you're new to this channel, what we do here is I travel all over the country I film roadside attractions, amusement parks, museums, haunted houses, and other fun, random stuff. If sometimes do road trips on this channel. Currently doing the Pacific Coast Highway road trip. And if you'd like to help out the channel, consider contributing to Patreon. $3 or more gets you a postcard once a month from me to you. We also sell enamel pins, press pennies, motel key fobs, and other souvenirs in the souvenir shop over on Etsy. Doing personalized messages on Cameo, and all that information is in the description of this video. All of those things help keep this train on the track, this boat in the water, and this dirigible in the air. Till next time, my friends, this one's in the bag.